your strategy.
What's that guy doing?
Okay, guys, here we go once again. Starting off right now, it is going to be on Forest of Niflhel once again. Chaos Army versus Erotic Solitude Legends, Game 1. As the gates open up, Jebro, go ahead and check out the splits.
Indeed, just gonna see it looks like Blue gonna chuck their warrior and their thief over to the mine at the moment. It does look like the thief was potentially gonna go after Dye, but he's gonna indeed go over to mine. Do see they're probably 2-on-1 fight at the moment. It's gonna be over on the mine point. Oh, the Henge, you can see the Necro on blue team is going to be defending against the thief, who is indeed Dye, who I just mentioned is nipping over to Henge now. So got both points on the side now is being contested at the moment. Captain Niv is back to come back to support Legolas as he does go down there at the moment. I'm not sure he got the res off from the nature spirit. He didn't, so it's back to a 2v1 fight. Mine's not looking too good for them. We've got a 2v2 fight on the mid as we saw Hell and Saz versus the two blue in the form of K and Yilv, sorry, who is actually just ranging on the top at the moment. It's a nice little position he's got up there, but I'm not sure how that fight's going to go, to be honest. Dye looks like he's gone down over at Henge. Indeed, he has. He's managed to port back on the point, but Eternia is looking like he's pretty much won this fight, and the only point on the map at the moment that has been kept is Henge.
And indeed, we are just seeing that Henge fight being ended right now by Eternal getting the kill. Eternal may go up here to mid to assist with that as we go back. Checking out the mid fight at the moment. It's two of the red team going up against two of the blue team. This is more than likely an honesty stalemate due to the lack of damage coming out from the red team. Yelvinia may be able to eventually take down the warrior, but until we see the Necro come up or someone else reinforces, it's probably just going to be stalemated. Chieftain is being taken down by Eternal trying to solo it right now. We do have Dye making his way over here, but don't think he's going to be able to get there in time in order to stop the Chieftain kill, so that will be going into the favor of blue team again, giving them an extra 25-point boost. Back over here at the mine, too, we do see another member of the red team. Once he's executed, Legolas back over here was taken down as we check out Guleta de Leon over here, going back in on the Chaos Niv, who is, again, as we just saw, they're running with a sword dagger builder, doing a nice job of doing that. And we dive back in on the Captain, but Captain Niv is doing a pretty nice job of actually keeping himself alive. So this fight as well will probably be going on for quite some time, but for the time being, our blue team is up. It's at about 100 points to 0 points, with blue team being the only team controlling a capture point at the moment, but they are also going to get two. Right, no, wait, not yet. They are almost going to get two back over here at the mine, but with that other reinforcements coming in now, that fight is going to be extended as well. But at the same time, like we've been saying back over here, Erotic Solitude Legends still has control of the Henge. They probably will hold it for some time, even with Dye. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Eternal is actually getting fairly low over here at the Henge as we check things out. Eternal is going to be popping out of the dash shot here over the next few seconds, getting very low indeed, and there we go, going to get poked into the downstate. And now red team will actually be stealing away this node, but at the same time, we will be seeing Yelvinia falling back there in order to defend that. The question is, will Yelvinia get there in time? Possibly not in time enough to actually stop the decap from happening, but she will be able to get there in order to get a contention rolling. And back up here at mid too, that has left things into a 1v1 on the point, and then there's another 1v1 going off the point between Hetchi as well as Guileta.
It's a very interesting match at the moment, isn't it? Just kind of running around after each other, trying to decap points. I'm not sure. Mine's actually capped now, but mid hasn't been capped because there's just an epic battle between Guardian and Guardian. We should leave that. They've very much got Henge as well at the moment, blue, but they need to get red needs to get some points on the board because it is 160 points to blue at the moment, 5 points to red, so that's a kill. And mid now being the only point which really is under any real contention. Boss is up on the Svanir side, so they potentially could go for that red to maybe get some stats to get a bit of a boost in these team fights, but it looks like Dye is coming in the up top in the keep, trying to get some burst down on Kayon there. I think he's got a lot of cooldowns up. Yeah, he's still got a lot of cooldowns up.
They've basically just been whacking away at each other for basically since the start of the match, and there's been no progress made. Unfortunately, Kane's a little bit low, but I mean he's doing perfectly fine. They'll just pop that in power games with back up to about like 80% health, and then it'll just be good as rain. So in all honesty, more than likely these guys are probably going to be whacking each other for quite a long time. So we'll have to check back on that in a little bit. We did have Yelvinia falling back over here to the Henge a few seconds ago just to ensure that it was safe, which it was. And as we go back over here, we see 4 people on the red side going into the downstate here. Hetchi, Dye, along with Captain Niv and Legolas, all were taken into the downstate there. So very well played there by the blue team, managing to take out all 4 of the assaulting force. That actually may be the ticket they needed to go over here and actually get control of the middle, because now they'll be able to pull people back. It actually appears that they are going to take this chance to try and take down the boss, maybe? They're still debating it. We've got Kayan over here as well as Guileta. Guileta's falling back to the Henge just to make sure that doesn't get back capped, which they are attempting to do right now. We can see that Dye is trying to make his way over there, but Guileta will be able to get onto the point in time more than likely. Captain Niv is also on his way to the Henge, so Guileta is going to to have to need some support, and we are going to be seeing the Necromancer Eternal will be fulfilling that role, and that'll turn into a 2v1 back over here on the Henge very shortly.
The chieftain has
Mid's going to be a 2v1 in favor of red in a second. Yano, the Ranger, the Spirit Ranger, is going to be not potentially. He's doing okay actually at the moment. He's doing a lot of dodging, getting around pretty well at the moment. Wondering if he's going to just kind of back out rather than give him the points. But he's probably thinking, you know what, at 300 points, I'm going to give it a bash. I'm going to try and keep it contested until anyone's going to come up, because he's doing a blinding job. And he's just got some support from the Guardian, so here we go again. We have a massive stalemate on this point. I'm just going to watch the health bars go up and down, but Henge looks like he's got a nice fight. His die has just gone up, down off point. I'm wondering if he can get into the mid to try and get a res from his compadre over here, but he's not going to get that, unfortunately. Goleta just goes down for the kill. Captain Niv very much alone now on the Henge point against two guys, so it's not looking too good for Blue at the moment, unfortunately.
As we go back over here, we can see the Captain Niv, or it's not actually looking too good for red, I think is what you meant to say there, because we do actually see at the moment that Blue Team has a dominating lead at 350 to 5 at the moment, with Blue Team holding on to both of these side notes, indeed showing their side cap prowess here at the moment, and they've basically been completely ignoring middle up until this point, as now we have seen Novinia along with a couple of the members have finally managed to take out Sazit, and they're going to get control of that middle gate point right now, putting them up to a full 3 cap, and now they will really start to jet themselves, and more than likely, I do think we will be seeing the Blue Team take this first game.
You never know.
Well, I mean,
you never know. I'm just gonna put the hope and dreams of the chat.
So I mean, like we've been seeing this game right now. What do you think Red Team could be changing in order to better themselves next game as we go into Legacy?
Don't have their Guardian in team fights.
So I would say that, and I would say be less bunky.
Yeah.
Because they're way too bunky in my opinion.
Yeah. I think there's the specs that they're playing, they don't like. Whereas Cheese Mode, they've got more DPS with their warriors. They run more DPS.
Oh, oh, you were comparing. That's my bad.
Yeah. Sorry. So
you were saying like the other team. Like,
that was not Cheese Mode losing 450 at the moment. It's 15. If it is, then something's happened. But yeah, just in comparison, because they're running the same team setups. They don't run exactly the same specs, but they do it differently. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's going to be the Guardian going to be in team fights, because they've just not got they're not rotating that well around the map either.
The Guardian was holding a neutral here at mid the whole time, so that was good. But granted, it's definitely, I think the damage, the missing damage from their comp is
definitely a bigger factor coming into play here, just because of the fact that they had 4 people on home node for like ever basically, and they just couldn't take it. They just did not have the damage to kill anyone on the blue team. So I definitely think trying to go for more damage, maybe putting some Berserker's Amulets on one of these warriors or something, will definitely be to their benefit, because right now it just looks like they do not have the damage needed to breach through them.
That's true. They're both running soldiers, aren't they?
Yeah, they're both running soldier Berserkers, I think.
That's too much. I might whisper.
One's running soldiers. Yeah, we got one's running full soldiers, one's running soldier Berserkers. So it's just absolute tank on the red team. They're trying to run a tank comp, and it's just not working right now.
I'm not sure I'd go for the also the Rangers gone for the Settlers rune as well, which
that's not bad. The question we gotta ask there is he running with Shortbow, because then that does make a lot more sense if he is running with Shortbow for that.
Pretty sure he was. Gonna be the last one, of course.
Give me 1 second. Sorry,
I kind of like
so
Rabbit more for that.
He is running with. Well, I mean, that's the thing. When you're running with Spear Ranger, though, you need to have the healing for the support that comes out from the. Because you either want to go full tank with it and just go with the Condi, or you got to run an amulet like this. Because if you run, I think the perceived opinion, generally speaking, is that if you are running, I'm sorry, Rabid. We were talking about, correct? Yeah. If you are Rabid, thinking of the right one, right? Yeah. If you are running Rabid with
toughness condition.
Yeah. If you are running Rabbit with it, then you just make yourself a little bit too squishy in comparison to like if you were running Carrion.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you run something like this with Settler's Amulet, you're not only going to boost your Conde damage and your toughness and make yourself, pretty decently, like almost like a secondary tank almost, in some cases, depending on the node you're fighting on. But you'll also have the Shortbow to put out a crap ton of Conde damage, and you're going to boost the support a little bit coming out from your Spirit of Nature.
Yeah, true. I do like I play Rabid on on my one quite a bit, and I do get so much more damage, and the damage makes up for the lack of healing because I'm hardly ever in team fights as well. But I think with these guys, their range has been in the team fights a bit more. Although he was on mid on his own,
Yeah.
so I mean he was better with the amulet he had, so he could actually keep that midpoint. So.
Alright, so
Yeah.
checking up on it, guys, just trying to see if they changed out any of their builds or anything here. It does not look like it. They're going to stick with the same comp, and they're going to try it again. So we'll have to see how things go. We are on Legacy of the Foe Fire now, so opening up our map, seeing how the splits are going here. We're going to be seeing 2 members of the red team going at the side gate. However, they may be intercepted by Guiletta, as well as Blueberry coming over here to the quarry in just a second. At the same time, blue team is going to be sending 2 to their home node, as red did the same, so we'll have a bit of a tussle going on over there at the waterfall node. And once again, the Guardians are just going to play whack-a-mole in middle and wait until somebody comes to reinforce them. As we go back over here to the waterfall, though, we can see that Elvinia, along with Eternal, are currently trying to knock out Hichi at the moment. Hichi taking quite a bit of damage, going to be popping that there in order to get rid of all of his Kandi damage. He's already used basically all of his cooldowns, so blue team really nice at applying the pressure over there. Eternal at the moment also dealing that damage right back onto him, as Hitichi getting extremely CC'd here. Lots of Kandis, trying to cleanse him as best he can, using Cleansing Ire abilities over here, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to stay alive. At the same time, Eternal's actually getting fairly low here. Eternal might go down here over the next few seconds as well, but we will see Hichi go down first. We do see the stomp coming out there from Ilvinia, and it will connect, eliminating one of the red team assaulters from the game.
Yeah, and Dye just went down the FIFA on red. He just went down over at Henge as well, so it's not looking too amazing for red at the moment. His Legolas just went down as well. Dye running into the point, trying to get the Shadow Refuge down, but he didn't actually be able. He wasn't actually able to get that off, so he's going to be very much alone here. And he probably needs to just run to mid, get some support, because a FIFA versus 2. A warrior and a thief is not in his favour at the moment. You do see the Guardians in the middle point are actually just standing there.
Well, I mean, you know, like when you have those 2 going up against you, there's not much you're going to be able to do. It's basically just going to be like you're wasting energy almost trying to whack each other, because you're not going to kill each other. That's basically a guaranteed. So when you're in that situation, you might as well just wait. It's kind of unfortunate that it has come to that, but I mean, they're bunkers, they're not meant to do damage, so it's kind of their job anyway. It's just to hold the pointing contention, and that's what they're doing there. So they just chill there, wait till reinforcements come, and that's when they actually start doing stuff.
And Gilletta's the one who's getting the damage put down on the face at the moment. It looks like he's getting quite a lot of focus from Dye. He's just trying to get it down as soon as he possibly can so he can move over to the bunker. It does look like it's Blue versus Legolas down over at Quarry now. I wonder if Blue can take down Legolas. He's having a good little bash. He's got the pet down, so he's not actually going to switch that out, unfortunately. I'm not sure why. This has got a cooldown in it. No, he hasn't.
No,
Okay.
no, he didn't have it. I don't believe he did. I think he had it already. He just wasn't doing it for whatever reason. Right now, again, we do see the blue team again push themselves very far ahead here. It's currently 85-0. As well, we have blue team holding 2 capture nodes, and again, it's currently up about 90 points with no signs of slowing down on either of those points. Red team is putting heavy pressure on the middle at the moment. We can see Captain Niv is over here, along with apologies, Sazit. Heichi also just came in here, but Dai tried to go in for a sneak over at the waterfall. Unfortunately, that did fail though, as we did see Eternal and Guiletta managing to knock him out of the game, and he is going to be dying right over here now.
Yeah, that was a bit unlucky. I think he wanted to try and go for waterfall, but he just got caught by Guiletta and Eternio there. Mid-fight, Captain's getting focused pretty hard now as well. There's just no real damage coming out at all. They've got no points, they've got no kills, and that's, you know, they're not even getting any kills at the moment, poor guys. But the Captain there going down on the mid. Unfortunately, his mate's not going to be able to get in the res in him. He's just going to go down as well. Just see Sazak going down now, and now Hetchi is probably going to go down very, very shortly indeed, as there seems to be a bit of a wipe going down as the Ranger comes in to try and get a res. He does get the res off on him. I'm not sure if he used his spirit. I didn't see that come up there, so he just went for the hard res. So at least they're back up in the fight at mid. It's very much contested, but hopefully they can get a side node at the moment, because it's the only way they're going to be able to come back.
But again, we do see the very solid team comp of the blue team coming into play here. Again, going up against the red team. Like, they've been trying to take out Khan, basically, Khan Zork this entire time. You look at his build, he's running a pretty standard Guardian bunk build at the moment with Runes of the Soldier, the Staff, Mace Focus with the Cleric Summit, and then, you know, he's running that pretty usual build of 0-5, 30-35. Now, again, red team just really can't get the damage needed onto him, and that's understandable because, again, you look, they've got 2 tanky warriors, 1 thief who usually isn't in that fight. He's being a lot more focused on going for those back caps, and he has been doing a pretty decent job of that. At least he was in the first map over there. He's usually able to get that off at least once or twice, but he's just unfortunately having a lot less luck this map on doing that. But then again, you go back to the middle, and beyond that, they've only got the Spirit Ranger here who was able to put a bit of Kandi damage, but Ken should be able to easily handle all that. And unfortunately, with them never being able to kill the Bunker Guardian, they're just not going to make progress here on the middle. I do think they should be focusing a lot more on side nodes, just trying to go all in on Waterfall or Quarry, and then try to skirmish around those. And unfortunately, too, that beyond die, they don't have a lot of fast movers. Like, we look at the Warriors here really quickly. Captain Niv over here. None of them are really running with like Warrior Sprint or anything like that. So they're not like the fastest Warriors either. They're still generically slow. So that's the unfortunate thing. Is like they've got plenty of tank ability, so these fights are being slowed down exponentially and is increasing the game time. But unfortunately, because they really can't kill anyone, blue team is just overall ending up on the better side.
And pardon me. Blue just getting the down on Captain over at Quarry as well, so they're going to get that 2-cap back as well. Yeah, you've exactly everything you said is pretty much on the money, man. I mean,
like they have good intentions with this comp. It's just unfortunately, it's like I think they need like one more damagey character. Like even something as minor as possibly like putting a Berserker's Amulet onto Hichi or something over here, just so in case Daimka, like he's been doing a lot this map, decides to go over for the waterfall as much as he is doing. They have that secondary like heavy damage character that can come in here and really wreck things up. Like Daimka again, gonna be forced out of here. He can come in to support, but again, he's gonna be assisting, trying to get a backup on his own team's node at the moment here, and fighting off Blueberry to do that. So he's just not really in there, and he is really the only big source of damage that the red team has. So because they don't really have any spike with him being so focused on those side nodes, it's just like not possible for them to take any large fights.
Pretty much, yeah. There's not really much I can add to that. There's nothing I can add to that, because these guys, I think there's also, you know what, their new team, Eternia, looks like it's bugging out on the map at the moment, actually, unfortunately. But there's nothing, I think there's a bit of a skill cap going on as well. I think they're a new team, and there's kind of that as well, and it needs a bit of work, but you know, you can see a little bit of, you can see teamwork there, you can see communication, so yeah, that's what it's all about as well. So hopefully these guys will come back and
it's not like their rotations and whatnot are fairly decent. It just comes down to the comp, I think, when you're looking at a matchup like this. It's just like they just don't have the damage necessary to take out their opponents, and that's really what's going on here right now, I think. But again, the current scores are 21 to 324. We have had a disconnect on the side of ESL at the moment. Their Necromancer has disconnected, so hopefully they'll be getting back in over the next few seconds. Blue team did manage to get a 1-cap during that scenario. However, it has since been decapped over here at the waterfall. We do have Daimika making his way back over here to the waterfall onto Guileta de Leon right now. Those two will be duking it out for quite some time. Over on the mid, once again, the Guardians are just duking it out, and other than that, basically everything is contained over here near the quarry point. We got the two Rangers whacking away at each other. Ilvenia as well as Legolas, and then back over here at the quarry node itself, we see Blueberry fending off a 1v2 coming in from Hichi as well as Captain Nivio, as they're going to be trying to take back their own point over here. But blue team is about 10 points away from Lord Rush range as well. They're going to be getting the support of Eternal now, respawn back into the map and into the game itself. Coming back over here, we'll be supporting with this quarry fight, trying to eliminate the red team once more, as they're going to be just tossing the Kandi bombs on the Hichi here now.
Yeah, it was nice. They just switched that up straight away, going for the 3 versus 2. Now it's going for the 2-1 in favour of red to the 3-2 on blue. So there's the experience there, rotating around to help their guys out on the team, basically. And now they're moving to mid. But Yilvia just went down, so they're already getting a couple of points now. But I think we'll know that probably that's because most likely the Necro did actually DC, unfortunately for those guys. But like someone said in chat, +1 for fighting spirit. They're not giving up. They didn't give up in the last match. They're not giving up now, so you know what? That takes a lot of balls.
Indeed. But at the moment, once again, we do see Red Team going in for an assault onto the waterfall. They're going to be trying to take out Guileta over the next few seconds here. Guileta trying his best to hold on, doing a nice job of it, but unfortunately, as thieves are squishy, they unfortunately aren't built for standing on points, and we will be seeing Guileta going in the downstate, which will allow Red Team to take control of this node over the next few seconds. Now, Lavinia is going to be coming in here. Will Lavinia be able to interrupt Sazet? No, because of the block aura going off there on Sazet. They are going to be able to actually take him out, but they will not get the full cap or decap, unfortunately, now, because Lavinia was able to get onto the node before the stop one off onto Guileta. Back over here in the middle, we can see as well 2 members of the red team are assaulting onto Blueberry over here. Legolas is actually fairly low. He may be able to self-res over here using his own spirit. So we've got to wait about another 8 seconds though. So I think the passive region is going to take a toll before that cooldown comes off. And then once again, going back over here to the core, we do see 2 members of the red team assaulting onto Can, trying to knock out the bunker guardian. These 2 tanky Hambo warriors that is are trying to take from this bunker guardian and get this node back. However, Can is going to get the assistance of Eternal coming in now, and that will be a lot of condies going on to these warriors if they're not careful.
Yeah, guys, there's not going to be a rematch because the guy that DC'd was on the side of blue, so there's not really much point. As soon as they're smashing it at the moment, 404 points to 37, it doesn't really make sense to make a rematch, to be honest. It's, you know, they're winning, and Blueberry's just gone down in the mid. Legolas trying to come in to get some more damage on it. The wrestling is really good. I'm going to be interested to see. I mean, Blue have won it pretty much at the moment. It's just that.
Actually, check out over here at the quarry. We may see Red Team get control of that. They just actually apologies, cancel that because we just saw the Red Team member get stomped out. We saw Captain Nivio get stomped out over here, and then back over here at the mid too, we're seeing some members of the Red Team slowly getting taken down. So more than likely, guys, this game is going to end up going into the favor of Blue Team as well, and they will be moving on to the next round to take on Cheese Mode.
Indeed, and that will be an interesting match because you will then see a newer team that, well, I've not seen that too much. I've seen a couple of players in this team, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to be like against.
Basically, we're going to throw Erotic Solitude Legends into the flame that is Cheese Mode, is basically what's going to happen in the next round here. So we'll have to actually see how that ends up going. I'm actually fairly curious to see just how well it does scale up. So we'll be checking that out. We will be moving to the other game first, though, and that will be between Read It Backwards and 55 HP Monks, following which we will go up to the Cheese Mode versus the Erotic Solitude Legends team, because they are going to be taking this round in about 15 points, guys. So congrats to Erotic Solitude Legends, Can Zork, as well as Blueberry, Yelvinia, Eternal, and Guileta de Leon for taking this game. They'll be moving on to the next round.
That was very well pronounced.